clock is ticking for Eddie Hearn. I think on this channel, it is no secret that I absolutely despise Eddie Hearn. But the last couple of years, it's been really evident that the talent Eddie Hearn has been representing has not been up to par when the challengers of the same skill level as Eddie Hearn's fighter. 2024 was a horrible year for Eddie Hearn. You saw this during the Matchroom versus Queensberry event when Eddie Hearn's selected fighters went 0-5 against Queensberry's selected fighters. Not to mention earlier in the year, Haney was embarrassed in front of the world against Ryan Garcia. Granted, there's a lot of other components to that equation, but nonetheless embarrassed. The best example I can give you regarding Eddie Hearn, how he does what he does, is with Anthony Joshua. That man is like obviously physical specimen. His resume, especially in the last 5 years, are the most handpicked, perfectly catered to Anthony Joshua's style to ensure he sees Anthony Joshua's success. Now, I'm not saying you're not allowed a tune-up fight or two, but let's face it, the fact that we have not seen Joshua versus Fury, Joshua versus Wilder at the height of their careers is absolutely criminal. Joshua has suffered his first loss to Andy Ruiz, which came as a surprise to everyone with anyone with a brain. Even I was surprised. I thought Joshua was going to clean up there. But the moment Joshua fought Usyk, it was a boxing lesson for Usyk to hand out to Joshua, and Joshua had a complete meltdown after the fight, probably because he was going through some imposter syndrome after realizing he was built up to be this undefeated, undisputed, unbeatable heavyweight boxer and was dismantled by Usyk twice. Built up after a course of few years just to get knocked down effortlessly. Anything Eddie Hearn touches turns to dust. Look at Bivol. First loss ever. Eddie Hearn had his hand into that. Now, another thing is that Eddie Hearn constantly complains about the judges. Constantly. Now, granted, boxing judges aren't the best. I'll be the first to admit that. They suck. But he did it with Israel Madrimov. Doing it with Bivol. All he does is constantly cry and complain. And I think Eddie Hearn is starting to feel the pressure. He's going to need his next big star now that Anthony Joshua is on his decline. The list is running thin with Eddie Hearn, considering what we've seen from his fighters throughout 2024. Next up, I'd want to say is probably Boots Ennis. But it doesn't help that Virgil Ortiz and Boots Ennis fight fell through. Not to mention, we can also dive into the shady contract discussions that Eddie Hearn has been dishing out to the likes of Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, etc., etc. Shady offers, giving a fighters 70-30 splits when they're top fighters is absolutely unacceptable. We know why he's doing it. It's to strong arm fighters in the public eye to say, well, we offered you a contract, you said no. No that fighter said no. I'm not accepting 30% of a cut when I know I'm a top talent. But that's for another video. You let me know what you think in the comment section below, whether you think Eddie Hearn is running out of time here. Is Matchroom in trouble? Do not touch that dial because we are still talking boxing in this next video. You see the subliminal messaging. Subscribe. Been your boy Aphrodisiac signing out till next time. Peace.